The power of clever thinking, a tale of wisdom. True power isn't in owning land. It's in outsmarting those who abuse it. You can take a man's field, but you'll never conquer his mind. In a world ruled by greed, clever thinking is the quiet sword that cuts deepest. In a quiet village, there lived a rich landlord named Jam, known not just for his wealth, but for his cunning. He didn't till the land, he didn't water the crops, yet his barns were always overflowing. Why? Because he lent land to poor farmers under cruel terms, ensuring that no matter how hard they worked, he reaped the rewards. One evening, as Jam sipped his tea under the veranda, he chuckled to his servant, Mangu. "These farmers work like beasts, and yet they live like beggars. And me, I sit comfortably while their sweat fills my warehouses." At that moment, a humble farmer named Burju arrived and bowed deeply. "Sir, I've heard you lease land. I beg for a small piece for one season." Jam smiled with practiced ease. "Of course, Burju, but there are conditions. You'll work the land, and when harvest comes, I take half. The rest is yours." Grateful, Burju agreed. He worked tirelessly, nurturing the field from sunup to sundown. And when harvest came, the field glowed with golden crops, enough to feed his family and finally breathe. But when Jam came to collect, he didn't just take half. He took the best half, full, plump grains, and left Burju with damaged leftovers. That night, Burju sat in silence, staring at the ruined grains. His son Kishan, who had just returned from the city after studying, sat beside him. "Why are you so troubled, father?" he asked. Burju sighed. "Because this is our fate. Men like Jam profit from our labor. We survive on crumbs." Kishan's eyes narrowed with quiet determination. "Not anymore, father. Leave this to me." The next day, Kishan went to Jam. "Sir, I'd like to lease your land this season." Jam smirked. "You think you're smarter than your father? Fine. But here's the deal. I take everything that grows above the soil. You may keep what grows below." Kishan nodded, calmly. That season, he planted potatoes. The third season, Jam came prepared. "This time," he growled, "I'll take what grows above, below, and everything in between. You get whatever's left." Kishan smiled gently. "Very well, sir." That season, he planted sugarcane. At harvest, Jam returned, triumphant. "Let's see you trick me now." Kishan calmly pointed to the field. "Take the roots and the leaves, sir. I will take the stalks, the sweet, juicy part in the middle." Jam's shoulders slumped. He sat down right there on the dirt path, defeated. "This boy," he muttered. "He has taught me something no one ever dared to." Kishan walked to him and said softly, "Sir, farmers work hard to feed others. They deserve dignity, not exploitation. You have land and power, but we have resilience and wit." Jam nodded, the arrogance in his eyes slowly replaced by reflection. The very next day, Jam gathered all the villagers. He stood before them, not as a tyrant, but as a changed man. "I've taken too much from you for too long. From this day forward, I will return your lands and pay fair wages for your labor." The village changed, not just because of Kishan's cleverness, but because he reminded everyone, even the powerful, of fairness. Kishan became a symbol of quiet strength. Jam, having learned his lesson, became a just landlord. respected at last. When harvest arrived, Jam and Mangu walked in, hands already rubbing in greed. "Well, Kishan, I've come for my share." "Of course," Kishan said politely. "You take what grows above. Here are the leaves." Jam's face dropped. "You planted potatoes?" "Yes, sir. The real value lies beneath." Mangu whispered. "Master, he outsmarted you." Jam gritted his teeth. "Next time, I'll take what grows below the soil. You get what's above." Kishan nodded again without argument. The next season, Kishan planted wheat. When harvest came, Jam arrived, confident he had finally won. "As per our deal," Jam boomed, "I get what's below the ground." "Indeed," Kishan replied. "So the roots are yours, but the grains, which grow above, they're mine." Jam stood stunned. His face burned red, his fists clenched. This boy is too clever. This story reminds us, greed may win the first battle, but wisdom wins the war. Clever thinking, when used with compassion, can bring justice where power once ruled. And most of all, resilience, honesty, and strategic thinking are the true keys to change. So when you feel powerless, remember, sometimes planting a potato instead of rice is all it takes to flip the story. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs a spark of courage. And if you want more stories that stir the soul and sharpen the mind, consider subscribing to our channel. One story can change everything.